fellowship going? Hi. Tyler, how you doing? Good? Yeah, there you go. Fired up and ready to go. Get that trouble well? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, go ahead. Hey. Rob's got a quick announcement before we start. Ladies and gentlemen, also, Lord will this is going to be your Sunday. Next Sunday is John. I am making your natural whatever. Have a good time. I'm coming back from California. Sounds good. Thank you, Rob. Yay! Rob, if you're newer with us, Rob does our Connect. He does all of our hot foods. He's a former chef. He does all the things, and so really thankful for everything he does. I've gained way too much weight eating his food, but it's good. So thank you, Rob. You're amazing. And so next week we're gonna do like a potluck style and just bring your favorite dish. Be good to go. Gonna start today, and we are gonna talk about the 5 D's of destruction. Hello? That's just weird. Okay. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we are talking about the 5 D's of destruction. This has been our sermon series the entire time. And we started with doubt. And we started, and then we went with distortion as well. And then sorry. Hold on. Hello? Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. That was like super important. And anyway, we're talking about the 5 D's of this. Super important phone call. Just want to be clear. Yes, it's the fantasy football draft tonight. Mario, you got to pay attention to the sermon. Stop calling. All right. This is what happens when you let the Navy guy come to church. All right. This is what happens. He calls you. He's trying to figure out fantasy football. And anybody walk out on that yet? Like, what is this guy doing? I bet you can't guess what the D we're going to talk about today is. We have gone through the spiritual warfare of Satan. We've gone with doubt and how he whispers in our ears these nasty little words. And then we've also talked about distortion and the way that sin has distorted culture all around us. And then last week we talked about discouragement. And the counter to that can be being delightful in all the difficult circumstances. These are tactics that Satan has used throughout the Bible. Today, if you want to guess, we're going to talk about distraction. Distraction is one of his sneakiest tactics. Sometimes we don't even realize we're doing anything wrong when we are getting distracted. Although I do want to check my phone, I think I'll put it away for now. So Luke, turn to Luke, chapter 10, verse 38 to 42. Luke chapter 10, 38 to 42. Mark, Luke chapter 10, 38 to 42. Luke 10, 38 through 42. Here's what it says. Now, as they went on their way, Jesus entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching. But Martha was distracted with much serving. And she went up to him and said, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her then to help me. And the Lord answered her, Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her. You know, it's kind of interesting when we look at that, and sometimes we kind of skim through that, and we read it, and we're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Here's Jesus in their house, but here's Martha. Martha's trying. She's trying to do what she's like Martha Stewart, interestingly enough. I wonder if the Bible did that on purpose or not. But she's trying to make this a nice home. She's trying to make the meal. She's running all over the place. My wife during Thanksgiving does this all the time. Is when she's making Thanksgiving dinner. If you want to go to the next slide, she's making Thanksgiving dinner, and she's running around all over the place. The turkeys need to get basted, the mashed potatoes need to get mashed, the stuffing needs to get stuffed, all these things going on. And she forgets to just live in the moment. She forgets to just be there. And I'm really saying this about my wife, but it's actually me. Just so you know. It's not her. It's really not her. That's me. I know that's a weird thing. That's what I'm doing on Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. And she's the one telling me this. I wish I could put that all on my life, but she's running around. She's missing the important things. I'm missing the important things. Of everything that's going on. Here, let's go back into biblical times here. And so here's what we got. We've got the Son of God in the room. And Martha's worried about dusting the lamp. All right? Martha's worried about not burning the turkey. Martha's worried about making sure the house is clean. When the Son of God is sitting there and teaching everybody, and Mary's just sitting at her feet. There's nothing wrong with cleaning your house. There's nothing wrong with trying to make a nice meal. But when we get distracted from Jesus who's standing in front of us, that's where it can be dangerous. That was the good portion. What Jesus had right there was more valuable than those other distractions that are going on. Here's what I want to ask you. There's a lot going on in the world. We have such busy lives. We're running around. I mean, you open up your calendar, and it's one thing after the other. It's doctor's appointments over here, and crises over here, and help over here. It's all over the place. And I know the special needs community, that doesn't apply to you at all, right? You guys are never busy. Joking, please don't but here's what I want to ask you is, are you at the corner of life where you don't know which way to turn? Where you're just running around all over the place, chasing and living day to day? Here's what I want to encourage you to do. When you don't know where to turn and what's going on, and everything's chaotic, everything seems to be falling down, I want you to stop and sit at the feet of Jesus and stop being distracted. Stop being distracted. Do we have time to put Jesus first in our lives? Do we have time? If we don't, we need to make that time. I don't have any time. I get it. I get it. But he's got to come first. He's sitting there, just like when Mary and Martha, he's sitting there. He wants that relationship. He's right there. We can open up his word and listen to what he has to say. But we get distracted. We get distracted, just like Martha. Distraction is a very, very dangerous thing. I want to say this is the thing that makes distraction one of the hardest things to overcome. Not all distractions, and a lot of distractions are not sinful in itself. We know kind of all the little sins, we know like certain things that we should stay away from all the time, but there's certain things that become distractions that aren't sinful inherently. And the scary thing is everything other than God can be a distraction. Sports, hypocrite alert. Sports are wonderful and great, and there's nothing unbiblical about participating in sports, enjoying sports, setting your fantasy football lineup. Although you shouldn't do that during church, Mario. I can't believe it.
Just want to know where the Vikings were at.
But if it becomes a distraction from what I'm doing, if it becomes a distraction from Jesus, if he's sitting there and I'm too busy worrying about my fantasy football, I'm too busy worrying about sports, or I'm too busy, let's take sports out of it, I'm too busy with this or with that, or even good and healthy things, and I can't sit at the feet of the Jesus, that is where we can run into problems.
And that is where the enemy will use that, by the way. Some things aren't just outright sinful. If he can just get you away from Jesus, from sitting at the feet of Jesus and learning from Jesus, it's his tactic. Almost all the time, we can probably pinpoint in our brains what's distracting us from God. And that thing that you're thinking of, what might be something that I have to battle with that distraction, that thing that you might be thinking of, probably isn't inherently sinful in and itself. It's when there's a barrier between you and God that you choose, okay, I've got 20 minutes, and I can either wrap up my book that I'm reading, or I can wrap up my Netflix show, or I can wrap up this football game, or I can wrap up this, or I can wrap whatever it is. Or it could be in my Bible. One of those is going to happen, and one of those is not. Ever chose a football game? Yes, Dennis, I have. Ever chosen to relax and chill out and not open that book because there's too much to think about? Ever chosen the this thing or that thing or filling up the calendar so much? You have this time. Unless I'm the awful one here, that's very true. I choose that all the time. I look back and no. Need to reset. Need to stop being distracted from the things of this world. And the hardest thing is to be distracted by the things that sound good and are not inherently evil either. Turn to Matthew 19, 16 through 22. Matthew 19, 16 through 22. My Bible upside down. Matthew 19, 16 through 22. Here's what it says. And behold, a man came up to him, saying, Teacher, going up to Jesus here, Teacher, what good deed must I do to have eternal life? And Jesus said to him, Why are you asking me what is good? There is only one who is good. If you want enter life, keep the commandment. He said to him, I'm sorry, you got to giggle just a little bit. So which of those commandments do I need to keep or not? And Jesus says, You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness, honor your father and mother, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. The young man said to him, All these I have kept. What do I still lack? Jesus said to him, If you would be perfect, go sell what you possess and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. And come follow me. When the young man heard this, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. What's interesting about this? I think a lot of people point automatically to, he's rich, he's evil. That's why, that was his biggest problem. No, his biggest problem right there is that he wouldn't give it all up for Jesus. That was the sin that was there. Like as Christians, and this is a tough thing being a Christian, it's really tough. We have to be willing to give it all up. Every single thing. Fame, glory, money, whatever it is. Are we willing to sell it all, give it all away, and just follow wherever Jesus asks us to go? And if we kind of look at ourselves and we say, I don't know if I do that. I throw $20 in the offering or something like that. That's fine. I can do that. I'm not selling all my possessions and moving to Africa because God's calling me to be an evangelist over there. I won't do that. Or I won't stay in a certain situation because I'm called to do that. Or I won't move, or whatever it is, whatever that barrier is, what are you not willing to give up for Jesus? A lot of times we flip it and we say this. We say, be willing to give up for him. What are you not willing to do? That's a distraction. That's a difficult thing. Hypocrite alert. Just so you know, I'm not perfect with this stuff either. I struggle with this. I know it's when I'm getting distracted sometimes, gotta reset. It's interesting. There's nothing on this earth that is that valuable. Nothing. There's a story of a family, and their father was a billionaire. And the family, he was on his deathbed. And the family's around, and they're talking about, ooh, he's a billionaire. What are we going to get? What portion am I going to get, right? And eventually this poor billionaire dies. And his lawyer comes into the family. And the family's all excited. They're like, oh yeah, billionaire. And they ask him, and they say, what did he leave? And you know what the lawyer said? The lawyer said, everything. He couldn't take anything with him. Nothing. There's no hearse up in heaven with all these goods. There's nothing. There's no houses up in heaven that are going to compare to our houses. You can't take it with you. You can spend your entire life saving, but at the end of the day, when you die, you don't get to take that with heaven. And you probably don't need it, all right? If you're in heaven, you're going to be just fine, all right? God's going to laugh at your 401k, all right? And again, I want to be clear on this. I want to make sure we're on the same page here. I'm not saying be stupid with money, don't save. That's not what I'm saying at all. You know, because that's definitely not what I'm saying. But there is an element of what are we holding on to so tightly, so stinking tightly? What are the things that we are just grasping at that we need to let go and just say, I'm following you. Some people it's money, some people it's time, some people it's car, it can be anything. Don't get distracted by the things of this world, because the things of this world will perish and be destroyed. Jesus Christ is eternal. And that's an important concept as Christians we got to get that right. Is the things of this world will be destroyed, they will rust, they will be gone. But Christ will be forever. He will forever reign. Turn it out. 1 Timothy 6 through 10. 1 Timothy 6 through 10. 1 Timothy, your favorite book, Tyler? Yeah, it's pretty solid. Oh, okay, I went to 2 Timothy. I'm like, oh, there's 6. What did I do here? 1 Timothy 6 through 10. But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into the world, and we cannot take anything out of the world. But if we have food and clothing, with these we will be content. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evils. It is through the craving that some have wandered away from the faith and pierced themselves with pains. Don't get distracted by the things that will be gone. The money will be gone. Everything will be gone. I want to be clear here. This is not a call to say rich people are the evilest ever. That's not what this is saying, all right? Saying if you're not willing to sacrifice for Christ, if you're not willing to give something up for Christ, that's the problem. You can replace money with anything else in there. I'm not willing to sacrifice my car. I'm not willing to sacrifice this or that. Doesn't matter. All of those distractions. Things will be gone. We do this all the time, by the way. I remember when I was 12 years old, the most important thing in the world to me was a Nintendo 64. How many of you know they're talking about Nintendo? Yeah, right there. Absolutely. And best game on Nintendo 64, Mario Kart and GoldenEye, if you haven't played those before. And so those are the best. And you know what? I was so distracted by my Nintendo 64, I would literally do anything to get that. Like my mom's like, hey Dennis, if you get all A's and B's on your report card, I'll get you a Nintendo 64. I went from a CD student and to an AP student in about 5 seconds because I wanted to play some GoldenEye. All right, it's as simple as that. You too? Are you GoldenEye fan too? Oh yeah, we gotta play. We gotta play, my guy. Yes, absolutely. Can't even have to get a Nintendo 64. GoldenEye, that's awesome. I'm totally in. That's distracting. I got distracted right there. I did. Nintendo 64 gets me every time. I wanted that so bad. I changed everything, and I devoted so much time and dedication to making sure I got my A's and my B's, and I played on that game, and it was the greatest thing my mom ever gave to me in my entire life. And for like 2 years, I was obsessed. Do you know what my Nintendo 64 is now? Neither do I. I have absolutely no idea. Like, I really don't. Like, I thought these were worth a lot of money, and then like 10 years ago when I moved out, it's like, hey, do you have that Nintendo 64? I used to have this. Like, I have no idea what happened to it. It's getting destroyed, probably in a junk house somewhere. But the amount of time and energy Like, we're going to do that Nintendo 64, and it's not eternal. If I'm putting that much energy into Nintendo 64, I better be putting 10 times more energy into Jesus Christ. Because Jesus Christ is eternal. Nintendo 64 is gone. Of course, one of my family members stole it, which I think is another thing. Turn to Matthew 13:22. Matthew 13:22. Matthew 13:22. As for what was sown among thorns, this is the one who hears the word, but the cares of the world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and its roots run fruitful. The idea. That's like the perfect little spot, isn't it? I'm with you. I'm with you. I promise I won't run over. Okay, we're good. My dear friends, don't get caught up in the distractions of the world. Get caught up in the eternalness of Jesus. How do we do that? I kind of gave you the D's of, yes, you know what we do? Devotion. Yes, devotion. That's how you destroy distraction, is you counter that puppy with some devotion. Has to be a D, by the way. I've got all these D's going on here. Destroy distraction with complete devotion. That is how we counteract it. Turn to Matthew 6:24. Matthew 6:24. Do you want to read it? It's shiny lights. I totally get it. Matthew 6:24. Matthew 6. Verse 24. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted. He will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money. When we are devoted to someone, this is when we're truly devoted to someone, all other distractions go away. It's as simple as that. When we have our full devotion, when that is where our allegiance is. Now, if our allegiance is on the Minnesota Vikings football team, all of the distractions go away. I don't even think about the distraction of Jesus. I don't even think of the distraction of church. Lions fan, why are you here? I forgot, he likes the Lions. Oh. When we are devoted, though, all the others are just completely gone. All the other distractions. I wanted to talk about my beautiful wife here, use this as an illustration. And so I was going to do this really nice thing about her, and it was just all nice anyway. So there's Anna, and what wound up happening is she was devoted to mini golf. And what you don't see in the background is Boston is trying to put Bella into a lock and chain and kill her. And then my son is nowhere, he's kind of texting his girlfriend. But my wife is so devoted to who won that stupid mini golf game, she doesn't even know what's going on. She's devoted to mini golf. That's where her heart and her allegiance is. All the other distractions around are gone. And by the way, I only brought that up to say, I won that mini golf. Alright, I was the winner. Okay, so just keep it. Here's the reality, guys. The truth is this, right? When you met your wife, okay? When you met your wife, you know what I'm talking about. That first time you see her, and you see her, and you're like, okay, I gotta talk. I'm gonna get deodorant, then I'm gonna talk to her. You kind of clean up just a little bit before you talk, and then you talk to her. And you are so distracted by her beauty. You know what I'm talking about, guys. You know what I'm talking about. The first time you saw her, I know the first time you saw my wife, I can't realize what's going on. 1 4 3 to be breaking out. You're a hottie, and I'm going to marry you. That's the goal, all right? And so you know what I'm talking about, guys. The distractions go away. When we carry that into our marriages become devoted too. When we're so devoted to our spouse and our wife or our husband, all those other distractions kind of go away. There's no other woman to worry about because my devotion is to you. There's no other man to worry about because my devotion is to you. All other distractions, all other things are gone because of the devotion. That's the same type of devotion we need to have in Christ. The same exact one. We need to look to Christ first and be devoted to Him and sit at His feet when the rest of the world is in chaos, that's what we need to do. We need to not be distracted, but be devoted to Christ. Turn to Deuteronomy 6:4-6. Deuteronomy 6:4-6. Here's what it says. Hear, O Lord, O Israel, the Lord your God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. And these words that I command you today shall be on your heart. I want you to notice something. Jesus always places loving God first. He places it before loving others first, too. You know what that means? We obey God first before we do anything else. Yes, we are called to love others, but we first are called to love God and to obey God. That's what we are called to do. And we are called to do that before any other distraction, before anything else. We are called to sit at the feet of Jesus before anything else takes place. Anything. We're called to be devoted. I think this is a key spot for Satan to punch right in. If we can take God and put him second, that's not so bad, right? Second place God, or third place God, or seventh place God, or I forgot about you, God, but I still love you, or put him all the way down. But instead, Jesus is very clear. God first. Love God before anything else. Because you love God, you love others, but love God before everything else. That is critical. Right, John? Yes, you gotta go out. I love God. Absolutely. Oh, beautiful. Somebody's listening. I love it. I love it. You know, what's interesting about distraction, right? Is having conversations with people about access and like, isn't it distracting with other people making noise or people moving around and stuff like that? And you're gonna tell them they're not the ones that are you're being distracted. That's your problem. To be honest, if you can't handle that, then stop focusing on that. Focus on yes, John. Finally, it's like focus on what you said. These are great. See this? The street table letters when people come to church. And even in a typical setting, it's wonderful, is people come to church and they're singing, doing the worship, and as they're singing, they're like, old Betty's off key over there, praising God, but old Betty can't sing worth a lick. And then they're sitting there and they're, that hat is just too large on Suzanne over there. And good golly, that shirt Joe's wearing is terrible, but praise hallelujah, right? You're not worshiping. You're being distracted at that moment. That is true distraction. Not people moving around, not people making noise, not people engaging in the service. That is not distraction. Distraction is what's going on in people's minds. Oh, it's just too much. Oh, wait. Oh, that. And John agrees. Yes, absolutely. So, how do we destroy distraction with devotion? It's three things. And it comes and these are practical. When you are distracted, sit at the feet of Jesus. When everything's overwhelming, when everything's just going crazy, everything just seems to be falling apart, you don't know what to do next. Sit down at the feet of Jesus. Open up his word and read. And pray. And take a minute. And I know that can be really hard because you got to get to this point, you got to get to that point, there's all these things going on. But when it seems like it's all crashing in, I want you to sit at the feet of Jesus. Stop everything. It's going to be okay. Stop everything you're doing. Sit at his feet and cry out to him and see what he's got to say, what he has to teach you in that moment. That is a hard thing to do. I tried doing that this week. The first 3 times I failed. I said, I'll sit with Jesus in just a second. I got to get some stuff done. The 4th time, I was like, no, I'm going to do this because I can't be that much of a hypocrite up here. It didn't. And it will change. Sometimes you just got to sit down at the feet of your dad and listen to him. The next part is the reason why you sit at the feet of Jesus. Not because I just told you to do it. Not because of anything else other than this. You sit at the feet of your Father because you are devoted to your Father. You sit at the feet of Jesus, you sit down when everything's going crazy, you just open the Word and you just pray. You sit there because you're devoted to Him. Because He's bigger than all of your problems. Because He's bigger than every one of your hurts and your pains. You're going to sit at His feet. And what winds up happening with that? True devotion eliminates distraction. When you're focused on Him and His will, there's no other distraction that can come. Nothing can hurt you. Nothing can touch you. You are right there focused on Him. Whatever comes your way, whatever pain comes, it doesn't mean they're going to go away. But you can deal with it better because you're devoted to your Father. So destroy distraction with devotion. Short sermon today. Let's pray. Yay. He's cheering. He's saying good job on the sermon. Not that it's over, right? Let's pray. Father God, I thank you so much. I thank you so much for everybody here today, Lord Jesus. Just thank you for your word. I thank you that you're a God that welcomes us to come and sit at your feet, to pray to you, to be in relationship with you, to open your word and to just learn from you, Lord Jesus. That's remarkable. You are so perfect and wonderful. I don't even know how I have that opportunity. I can't comprehend it. That I can just come and sit down at your feet. Lord, help me not to be distracted. Not to focus on the things of this world, but instead focus on your glory.
Amen. So I'd like to stand and sing, Great I Am. When we realize